You don't deserve to call yourself a police officer. Why would I do that?
Do you even know who he is? Huh?
Trouble Busters!
Hey, Allan, long time no see. Hey, Tyson, great seeing you. My name is Allan. I'm a police officer on a small island. My former colleague, Tyson, is visiting my office from the main island for a business trip. But then... You look like you're enjoying a life here. Do you plan to stay here for the rest of your life? I'm fine with that. Heh, sounds like you don't care about getting promoted. You're such a boring guy. We all have our choices. I guess we're a little different, Tyson. I'm happy working here. Stop being so sour. What? I'm not being sour. You are. We all have destiny in our lives, and Allan, your life would have never been meant to be successful. What? You don't deserve to call yourself a police officer. Bam! Tyson, why are you acting like this? Your police badge kind of looks like King Pharaoh from Egypt. I mean, look at this island. It doesn't seem like there's anything going on here, and you're almost never called over to the main island. I'm sure all you do is clean the office every day. I do clean the office, but just think about it. People look at policemen like we're superheroes. I'm sure no one's gonna call you a superhero when you're cleaning your office all day long. I guess you might be right, but you're never gonna have the opportunity to improve yourself if you don't get involved with different criminal cases. I would never want to live like you. Besides, the HQ asked me to come check you out, so I'll just report to them that you're just cleaning the office all day long. What? Maybe I can also tell them that you're just chit-chatting with the residents here all day long, too. I was so happy to see him after such a long time, but how could he treat me like this? He thinks I'm living a worthless life at this small island, and I don't agree with him. How dare he look down at me and treat me like this?
Hey, Tyson!
What is it, sir?
Officer Allan told me everything. Do you even know who he is?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Officer Allan is a talented police officer, not even comparable to you, Tyson.
What? Talented? Are you sure you're talking about Allan?
Officer Allan, you need to show him some respect.
Wait, I have no idea why you're speaking of Allan, Mr. Allan, so highly.
Officer Allan has solved many difficult and complicated cases in the past. There are even several cases that he solved that no one else could have. He's an asset to us.
What?
He currently chooses to be at the island, but he's still a talented officer. You insulted Officer Allan without even having an idea of who he was.
Oh, but sir, I never meant to insult him.
Yes, he did, sir. He said that I don't deserve to call myself a police officer. Oh my God, is that so? Tyson, how could you speak to him like that when you haven't even solved a single case?
I mean, is this even for real? Huh? Are you sure you're a talented policeman? As far as I've known you, it just doesn't sound convincing to me.
Why would you say that?
Just think about it, Officer Henson. This kid here is way too young. He looks way too inexperienced to solve any complicated cases. I don't believe it.
My age doesn't have anything to do with what you're saying.
He must be lying.
What? Why would I do that?
It's because you're trying to get promoted. That's why you're lying. Officer Henson, don't let him fool you.
Oh boy, you don't believe a single thing I told you, do you?
Of course not. I mean, this is the first time hearing about this, and there's no way I'm just gonna buy it.
I guess I'm gonna have to ask him to join us here if you're not going to believe this.
Who's him?
Officer Swanson.
What? Did you say Officer Swanson?
Hey, Allan, long time no see. What's the matter? Tyson here thinks that I'm forging my career. Forge? What? Why would you accuse him of that? I think he's trying to get promoted. What? No way! Allan isn't like that!
Huh?
Allan never cares about how his boss feels about him. He doesn't even claim his credit for arresting criminals. All he wants to do is do the right thing. He's not like you. All you care about is getting promoted.
Oh, Tyson, are you trying to get promoted?
What? No, that's not true. I'm not like you. Officer Swanson, don't let Allan fool you. He's not fooling me. I've been Allan's partner for years. I've seen what he's accomplished with my own 2 eyes. And what Allan has accomplished in his career is all true. Maybe you wouldn't know this, but because Allan was so strong with what he does, he's always been assigned to more challenging cases than anything that would be assigned to someone like you. But he's a loser! He's been transferred to a small police station in a small island! He was sent away because he's useless! You have such a shallow thought process. What?
You're misunderstanding something about being assigned to a small island, aren't you?
What do you mean? You don't get it, do you?
Being an officer at an island means that I would have to be able to make the right decision at the right time without relying on other people's opinions or orders. If I was scored low on my evals, my request to be at an island wouldn't have been accepted.
What? That's right, it's not easy being assigned at an island. You're completely underestimating him.
Tyson, you were looking down on me so much, and I could only imagine you must be a very successful police officer.
Well, I'm kinda successful in some ways.
So I went ahead and looked into your accomplishments.
What? You can't do that without asking me?
You have absolutely 0 accomplishments.
Let me see. Oh God, he's right. I just never report my accomplishments, so that's why it looks like I don't have any.
But then there's one thing that I found strange when I was looking into what you've accomplished.
And what is that?
I used to investigate the possible fraud for a company called Trouble Sketch Company before I was assigned to the island. But then it says here that the investigation was done by Tyson when it's supposed to be me.
What? That's not possible.
I wonder if someone made a mistake about this, or...
Well, what? Don't look at me like that. I didn't do anything. I don't think Tyson was even part of that investigation.
That's right. So I went ahead and looked into Tyson's daily report from that day. It said Tyson was at the office taking care of desk work all day on that day.
What?
May I ask, where were you and what you were doing on October 22nd, 5 years ago?
How would I remember? It's been 5 years. It's been too long.
I guess I'll have to ask others then.
Others?
Who do you usually work with?
I'm always on my own. I'm a lone wolf. You're always paired with Officer Stevens. Let me go get him.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, no. Hello, Officer Allan. What's the matter?
Well, this was what's been going on, and I was wondering if you happen to remember anything about this date from 5 years ago.
I'm sorry, but 5 years is quite some time ago.
It's okay, I understand.
See, no one remembers anything from 5 years ago.
I just thought you might remember something since you're always paired with Tyson.
What's the matter, Officer Stevens? Well, we don't need you here anymore. Now just go back to work.
Stevens, was there something you want to say?
We'll be happy to listen to anything that's on your mind. I've witnessed Officer Tyson forging the reports several times. God damn it!
Stevens, tell us about it.
There was one time I walked in when he noticed me as he was forging the documents. He grabbed my arm so I couldn't run and he said not to tell anyone about it. Oh my God!
Tyson, you better explain this to us.
This guy is lying to all of us. I'm not lying. Officer Tyson, if you're going to blame me, I'm going to tell everyone about everything else.
Everything else? What's everything else?
Officer Stevens, tell us. Officer Tyson has been doing other bad things. What bad things? There was one time when we were able to catch a scammer based on what the victims had testified. But then, Officer Tyson did not report that we had him under arrest. He let the scammer go in exchange for collecting money out of him.
Oh boy, you're kidding, right?
This is unacceptable.
He's lying again. There's no way a police officer would get away with doing something like that.
Officer Tyson made me help him out with everything, so I know he's been manipulating all the reports that he's been submitting. This is a huge problem.
This calls for even further investigation.
Go ahead and investigate. You're only gonna find out that Stevens made everything up. Are you still trying to blame me? Huh?
Stevens, are there other things that you want to tell us?
There are. When his friend caused a car accident, he falsified the documents to make sure his friend doesn't get in trouble. What? That's a huge problem, too. Officer Tyson rushed to the scene as soon as he got the phone call. He looked like he was in a huge rush, so I followed him to see what's up. You did? There were 2 vehicles involved in that accident. Officer Tyson spoke to both parties, but even after the other party had gone home, Officer Tyson and his friend stayed there to chat for a while.
Tyson, do you recall this?
I don't. I looked into the details about that accident on a later day, but I couldn't find any reports at all. I asked Officer Tyson where he was during that time, and he wouldn't give me a straight answer about where he was while he was actually at the accident scene. This is getting crazy.
Tyson, how dare you even accuse me of forging my documents? This is simply unacceptable.
Stevens, do you understand that you're also at fault for not coming forward with this sooner? Why didn't you report this?
This is not okay.
Not okay, but there's nothing that can prove what Stevens is telling us might be true. Let me just tell you again that he's lying.
But I'm sure we'll find something if we do a thorough investigation. This is for looking down at me. I'm not gonna let you get away with this.
Go ahead and do what you want. You're not gonna find anything because I didn't do any of that.
Stevens, are you sure there isn't anything that can prove what you told us?
I don't. Officer Tyson made sure he got rid of all evidence. But then, Officer Allan, I do have a witness.
A witness? Who is it?
Remember the guy who was arrested for DUI? His name is Yale. I'm sure he would have things to say.
Yale.
Is that the guy who's here today to testify for his own case? That's right.
But why him?
Yale is friends with Officer Tyson.
Friends?
Why don't we talk to Yale so we can get a better idea, right, Officer Tyson?
So, you must be Mr. Yale.
Yes, that's me.
Are you friends with Officer Tyson?
What?
Please, tell us the truth, as we will find out if you lie to us.
Okay. Yes, I'm friends with him.
Tyson, you didn't report a single thing about this.
I didn't think it was necessary. According to the reports, Mr. Yale, you were driving your vehicle and ended up hitting the other party's car. Does this sound accurate? Yes, that is accurate.
Stevens, you said he's a witness. What did you mean by that?
Yes. Remember I said that I saw Officer Tyson chatting with his friend after taking some reports? Mr. Yale was that friend from that scene.
What?
I feel like Officer Tyson is involved with Mr. Yale's case just as last time. What? You can't just assume things like that. This guy is clearly at fault. Yes, that's right. So, after investigation, we concluded that Mr. Yale was at fault for this accident. But I went ahead and spoke to the other party about this. What? According to her, she said that she felt like she saw someone sitting on the passenger's side in Mr. Yale's vehicle.
Is that true?
Yes, it is.
Mr. Yale, who was your passenger?
I didn't have any passengers.
Just tell me the truth. You could get yourself in trouble for lying to us. Stevens here also witnessed the scene. Even if you won't tell me the truth, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get to the bottom of this and reveal the truth to make this right.
I'm sorry for this.
Huh?
I was trying to protect Tyson.
What do you mean by that?
Tyson and I went out drinking that night. We were both drunk, so I was going to call Uber for us. But Tyson insisted that he'll be okay driving.
What? Are you saying that you weren't the driver?
I was not. It was Tyson. He was quite drunk.
Tyson, is this true? So this means that Tyson was the one?
Tyson was the one who caused the accident.
Oh my God!
The moment he crashed the car, and before we spoke to the other party, Tyson negotiated with me that he'd pay me if I take the blame for the accident.
Oh boy!
He said he can't afford to get in trouble for DUI since he's a police officer. I wanted to help him out, and I ended up taking the blame.
And what did Tyson do after that?
He escaped the scene while I was speaking to the other party.
So Tyson was the one who was at full fault for everything.
That's right. But then I understand it was my fault for being a part of everything.
Tyson, do you have anything to say about this? Can't you hear me?
I'm tired of this.
What?
Okay, fine. I caused the accident. Are you happy now, huh?
How could you act like this?
Allan, this is all your fault because you were forging your career.
We already talked about this, and that was you! Besides, if only you weren't looking down at me at the island, I wouldn't have gone this far to get to the bottom of everything.
I'm sure you're going to face some heavy consequences. You better be ready for this. Yeah, sure. I'm getting sent away to a smaller branch, right? I was sick of being at the HQ anyways. I don't want to be working with you guys here. I'd rather go to a small island or something.
What are you even saying?
I said I'd rather be on a small island living a boring life than working here with buttheads like you.
You've committed so much crime, and you really think you can keep your job as a police officer?
Huh?
I am gonna report everything you've done to the higher-ups. I really hope you learn your lesson about the things you've done.
What? No, you can't report this to the higher-ups. Hey, Allan, you need to help me out. Aren't we friends?
Not happening. Bye-bye.
No, please, I'll apologize. I'll say I'm sorry 100 times, so please have mercy.
Tyson's crimes were reported to the higher-ups right away. He was forced to face the consequences as he deserved. I heard he got a part-time job as a traffic officer, and he works night and day to keep himself going. As for me, I'm back on my island. I prefer being here breathing clean air than being at the HQ. I'm 100% comfortable and happy here. Trouble Busters.